Hi, this is my year 2 induction showcase presentation. My name is Andrew Letourneau. I did mine on promoting parent communication and involvement. Also, I did engaging and supporting all students in learning. So my introduction, my name is Andrew Letourneau. I have been with the Kern County Superintendent of Schools for 7 years. This will be my 7th year teaching. I got my credential through National University. I have my bachelor's, working on my master's. So some of the teaching context that I'm at is I am working for Del Rio Elementary School, and it's through the Kern County Superintendent of Schools. I work with kindergartners through 3rd grade, and my students they all have autism. On campus, we actually have 6 classrooms here, which is amazing for the KCOSOS. I teach students with moderate severe autism. My classroom consists of myself and 3 instructional aides. I have a total of 9 students, and I work with a team of instructional staff to assist students throughout the day. So my classroom consists of a lot of visual schedules. We work with icons. We work with timers, because the kiddos that I work with need a lot of structure. They need a set schedule. So right here, I have a set schedule for the students. I have their picture on the wall, and I have the icons for them to match throughout the day to the correct activity that we do. And it shows right here on the back of the door, and the kids work wonderful with it. And this year I had my growth goals. One of my growth goals was standard 6. So it was developing it as a professional educator. I wanted to work with families to support student learning. I wanted managing professional responsibilities to maintain motivation and commitment to all students. I strive to be the best educator that supports my students with moderate to severe disabilities. So one of my biggest things was just the communication with parents. I feel it is essential to have that with parents and have that relationship, just to show how much that I do truly care for their child, and how much we want them to grow in the classroom and meet their academic goals or functional living goals. So I send home each day communication, a log. So I do it with some students where it's just individually each day, and then other students I have a week-long communication log. So it goes over how the kid's day was, if they were happy when they came to school, or if they were tired or upset, and I go over what they worked on. So it could be art, math, science, history, English. It could be doing something with PE outside. But I write it down for parents to know what the student, how they did each day. So if the parent did have any questions, they have my number, and they could go over these communication logs, just so we have that communication, and we know what's going on. Parents know what's going on with their kiddo at school. It's just a big, it's a great tool to use to send home, to help parents understand how their kid was doing, so we know what is going on in the classroom. Another growth goal that I worked on was engaging and supporting all students in learning. So a big thing in my classroom is that I like to do more hands-on activities to engage and motivate students. If I'm just giving them a paper-based activity, a lot of my kiddos don't like to use that. They don't like to just write on a piece of paper. They like fun, engaging activities that I could use with technology. In this piece of evidence, we did a fine motor skill activity that we worked on the 5 senses. So instead of just marking it with a crayon or a marker, we actually marked it with paint. These little paint markers that we call them, where they're able to mark on the piece of paper. And during this activity, they loved it because they got to smell the markers. They were different. Some were blueberry, some were strawberry, cherry. But in this piece of evidence that I have, they used it wonderfully. They got to press on it on when we went over the senses, the 5 senses, and we went over the activity of which sense is this. They got to use that. So the kids really did enjoy this, or is more hands-on. For my year 2 project, I did a activity where I wanted to promote parent communication and involvement by incorporating a calendar and newsletter. So I used a newsletter to go over important dates. So holidays, birthdays, or activities that we were doing that day or for that week. The audience was my kiddos' parents. So I would send home student learning information. I had resources to help with parents if they were having behaviors at home that they needed help with. I would send home just a communication, a parent kind of a survey asking that what's working at home, what's not, what do you need? And a lot of the time we go back and forth and we come up with these resources that help maybe with the behavior that's happening at home, and that's, in the classroom, we kind of have it under control. So it's just having that relationship and just giving that student, just giving them every possibility to succeed with myself and with parents, and just having the rapport with each other. And the impact that it had, it was amazing. I sent home a questionnaire going over, what they needed help with, or, what was working. So just the positive feedback that I got from parents was amazing to show, how much they truly care for what I'm doing, but at the same time, how much I care for their kid, for their student, their child. I would send home a monthly calendar, a newsletter was included. So we'd go over kind of the special dates that we had this month. So in the month of May, we went over the 4th. May the 4th be with you. We did an activity on that. We're going to have an activity on Cinco de Mayo. We have birthdays coming up this month. We have a holiday, Memorial Day. So just sitting at home and allowing parents to kind of understand what we're doing throughout the month, so they could see that and see the kids' success in those times. And we had different information were included in the discussion of the daily morning group. So we run a morning group in the morning, and I would go over what we're doing that for that day. So parents really did enjoy this because, like I said, it allows them to feel like they're in the class with us, and what we're doing each and every day, and the important dates that are coming up, just to show, that what we're doing, and just that we truly, truly care for these kids, and we want them to know the success and the strides they are making in the classroom. So my end of the year reflection. So I've had so many outcomes that I've taken away from this, is that I feel that I have met my growth goals, because just the impact that the kids have had on me, and just the engagement and the motivation they've had. Because in this classroom with working with autism, the one thing is that the kids do have a set schedule. They like knowing what they're doing. But at the same time, these kids like to work for things that they actually are motivated and they like. So it really taught me how to modify and come up with different activities that the students like, but it still fit the curriculum, and having the hands-on activities for them, having the technology. So the videos that we go through, where we watch a video about a reading and then we do it as a whole group with a hands-on activity. So it just really taught me as a teacher to get to know my students and what they really enjoy to learn. And parents, just having that communication with them. I learned that parent communication is essential. I achieved this through daily logs, monthly calendar, and newsletters, as I have showed you. But the biggest thing is that relationship I had with them, and letting them know how their kiddo was doing, and just the feedback. It really taught me, what these parents go through every day, and, just being that resource for them and helping them and guiding them through if that something wasn't working at home that was working in here. Just having a rapport and just being there for them has taught me, and I think I felt that I've have met that growth goal of just having that communication with parents just by the feedback they give me, and just how much happier in the relationship we have with each other. And I think the biggest thing that helped me through my professional learning opportunities is my mentor, Jeanette. She was amazing. Every time I had a question, or, we collaborated about, what was working or what wasn't, she was always there to give me, to help me with resources, to show me the activities she uses in the classroom, and just in my admin, talking with them, other teachers on campus that I have at Del Rio, just for them to go in their classroom and kind of observe what they work with, incorporate it in my classroom. It really is something that is essential for all of us teachers, is just being able to kind of pick at other teachers' brains and how they work with what they work with in the classroom, and what works and what doesn't. So just being able to collaborate with other teachers and my mentor this year really opened my eyes to grow as a teacher and meet my growth goals. And then once again, the communication and teamwork with my instructional staff is the most beneficial I think thing in the classroom, to be a good team and to understand each other. And I am the teacher, but at the same time is having that relationship with them and allowing them to help me when things aren't working. That was a huge thing in my classroom, is that communication with each other, with parents, and just having that engagement with the kids. So I feel that I've made those growth goals. And as of next year, I feel that I will focus more on, I'll focus more on the engagement with the students, communication with the parents, but just kind of modifying the instruction a little more, that it's a little more challenging for the students, to help them grow more in certain academic goals that they have, or functional living goals, because I think it is so essential to have different activities for different kiddos that are on functioning, or different functioning levels. Some might be higher than others. So just adapting the curriculum for all of them, that really gives them every possibility to succeed in the classroom. But thank you. This was an amazing experience, and for this year for me as a teacher, to grow in all these growth goals. So thank you, Induction program.